Welcome back, my business besties. Today we're having a leadership conversation, specifically CEO leadership, how to lead without being your team's friend. If you're like me, and I know you are trying so hard to be a good boss, aren't you? I personally find out of all the things I had to step into and transition into identity wise, the hardest amongst all the other hats was leadership because we never know if we're doing it right. Do you get feedback from your team? There's something about the boss that often you're not going to hear you're doing a good job, if not ever. Out of all the people in my group practice, one out of 55 people, and all the years that I did it, which wasn't actually too many years, like 4 years altogether from like beginning of group practice to sold. One, it was a supervisor and she's just like, I just want to say, and she gave me some really great feedback about myself and also how systemized the practice was, but you just won't hear that. And as a result, you're not going to know if you're doing a good job, and it's hard. You're going to try your best and you're going to fumble. And even myself, I'm a work in progress. I'm bringing this up because it's been coming up a lot in coaching from my members. And also, I've like my own thoughts about it have changed. I'll get into all of it. It is hard to show up transparent and vulnerable because we know that's what makes a good team and you want to be that way. And even for myself in the McCants method, like I want to be all of me. And what I mean is I can be really silly. I like to have a good time. I'm super casual in my leadership approach. I do not think people work for me. It is not hierarchical at all. And I'll have them over to my cottage and different things, and we'll have drinks. And there'll be moments where I forget, a lot of moments, that I'm their boss. And then I have to remind myself, Nicole, this actually helps because we have an employment lawyer, an American one and a Canadian one in my program. So that's helped a lot, just hearing that, oh yeah, I'm an employer. I'm an employer. You almost need to say it like I'm an employer because I forget, and I want to forget because I just want to show up and level the playing field. Aren't the best bosses their full self and human? But then there's all these rules like of ways you have to be and how that might be. I don't know. I'm going to go get into what we want to do, but be careful of because we don't want to be their friend. So how do I show up myself, which is naturally able, like wanting to connect to people, but then my employer hat on, it's like, how do I navigate both? And then on top of all of it is me wanting to be the best boss possible. The questions I've been getting from you, and I know you probably have them if you're not asking, is, am I allowed to take a superstar, my superstar therapist or superstar admin out for coffee? And that's a really good question. Can I give them accolades? Can I give them extra things because they're doing a great job? The employment lawyers in my program, we're just learning that if you make a decision, you want to be fair. Okay. So here's what I mean. In general, as an employer, you want to treat everyone equally. Obviously, you don't want a discrimination case. So when you make a decision, you want to have a reason as to why you did it so it doesn't look like favoritism. And I'm bringing this up because we're just therapists. We don't know these things. So probably you're just like, sure, yeah, let's go for coffee. Like you're not thinking of your employer hat because that hat, I don't know, you don't even know where it is. It's in the back closet. In general, here's what I've learned. My coaching used to be, if you do it for one therapist, you have to do it for all therapists, unless there's a categorical reason why. And I was saying that because I wanted to protect you. So here's what I mean. If you take your admin out or your supervisors out for lunch, I would take them all out because then you have a delineation as to why you did it. I did it because they're in the manager category or the supervisor category or the admin category. And that's why I did it. I was fair to everybody. I picked a certain job title, if you will, like a role in the company, and I decided to appreciate them. But then, and this is why I love evolving as a human, as your coach, I was thinking, wait a minute, some of this, what is right and legal, isn't practical and actually doesn't work. And so how can we be in the middle of both and you still show up as you? because you want to have lunch with these people. So then I was like, doesn't it make sense to take your superstar out for lunch or to send them a gift basket or to give them some sort of gift or accolade because they are exceptional, because they are hitting the mark with performance? Because if your superstar, let's say admin and even therapist, let's say you have a therapist, she's always booked, she shows up to every meeting engaged, her retention is high, her conversion is high, she even has great ideas that she brings to you. She's just amazing to be around, positive person. I think we want to, just like our children, reward the behavior we want to see, especially if they're hitting what we call KPI. Have you heard of that? Key Performance Indicator. It's basically, I'll call it a goal to simplify it. So you have a goal, right? A certain KPI or goal that you want your therapist to hit, and of course, your admin to perform at a certain level. If they're surpassing that, my God, they deserve a latte. If not, why bother? Think about that. If they get nothing, okay, sure, they get a raise and maybe that's it. I believe that we want to reward the people that are doing a great job, mostly just because they deserve it. That is my new coaching. Now, we want to make sure it's never discriminatory, of course, and it can't show up as favoritism. So what you can do in your notepad in your phone, where I keep most of my private notes, not my Google Drive, because probably everybody has access to your elements of your Google Drive, you can keep a note as to why. I took her out because of this reason. She gets twice as much done than anyone else. Let's say it's an admin. She's way more efficient. She just gets better results. Here's the key. If anybody thought that was unfair, this is what's going to guide you, okay? You now have a reason. You're like, there is a reason. Here is her performance that she surpassed, and this is why she got the reward. You just need a very clear performance tied reason. It's tied to some sort of KPI, AKA performance. Here's the interesting part. I had an admin about 10 years ago or longer ask for a raise. And I don't really remember exactly what I gave her. I think I gave her a little bit, but she wanted more. And she said to me, I'm working so hard. But here's the thing about life. Working hard doesn't give you the accolades, does it? When you were in grade 10 and you were working hard at your math class, but you still weren't passing, you didn't get a passing, like life would be amazing if we just had to work hard to get that passing grade. No, you have to hit a certain KPI, a certain level of performance to get the grade and move on. So if you have someone who comes to you and says, hey, I wasn't invited to that lunch, that's not fair. I also work hard, and it could be an admin or a therapist. I also do some of these things, but if they're not hitting the grade, they're not getting that performance, then naturally they're not going to get the perk, the accolade, or the lunch. Do you see the delineation? Let that guide you. Because for some of you right now, there's no guide. You're just doing it based on probably a couple of things. Your gut, because our guts guide us. And also, let's be honest, it could even be the people on your team that are more likable, that you connect with more. Is it that? And I just want to make sure that it's based on performance. Like, in fact, think about that person that you just went for a latte. Did they hit the mark in performance? Like, why exactly did you take them out? Was it because you're just closer with them? Because you're human. Naturally, you're going to connect slightly more with some team members than the next, probably. And very likely, unfortunately, the trait of extroversion wins in the workplace. Think about those on your team who you connect with the most. They're typically the most extroverted or outgoing. Why? Because they talk more, they're not shy. As a result, you get to know them more. And then there's an opportunity to connect more. And they end up with a latte. But as you're walking to the coffee shop, I want you to be thinking, oh, wait a minute, like, why am I actually doing this? Is it just because I'm more connected and I like them? Because that's not okay. It has to be tied to performance. Think grade 10 math. We do, and I give this to my members, every 3 months, I suggest you have a check-in with your team. And you're actually going to give them a questionnaire every 90 days, and they're going to rate you. They're going to rate your admin, your supervision skills, or your supervisor. And I like a rating scale because for those that are afraid of you, because let's be honest, there are people that are a little bit afraid of you because you pay for their mortgage and their life. I liked a rating scale. It forced those people to just like circle a number and then explain. And then at the bottom of the sheet, I ask, and I even ask my team, how do you want to be recognized? Everybody has a love language, even at work, like appreciation language. What is it? Almost everybody always says money and gifts and words. So I like to be appreciated with words. So check in. Are you doing that? And then I like to be appreciated with accolades. And then my next question is, when was the last time those people that are going way above and beyond, not just in terms of hard work, hopefully everyone's just working real hard to have this ship go to where we want it to go, but is surpassing their KPIs consistently? Go to their questionnaire. Are they saying gifts? When was the last time you gave them a little something? Remember, I said I'm a work in progress. So I made a mistake. This is why I'm talking to you. Of course, I still make mistakes. It's like never ending, isn't it? And like my team is going to hear this on the podcast, and I love you guys so much. There's a person on my team that I've just known the longest. She even babysits my kids. She was with a lot of them came from my clinic. Actually, I told them they came with me when I sold, but I'm closer with her, if I'm honest, because I've just known her the longest. And I'm a human being. So naturally that just happens, right? Our humanness comes out. She had bought a condo. My instinct was to say, you should come over. And I came over, bought her a little housewarming gift. And I just so happened to mention this to my director of operations. Please have a director, a right-hand woman, a right-hand man who loves you enough and who's confident enough to just tell you your blind spots. And thank God her name is Sydney, is so amazing. And we just worked so well. She's the yin to my yang, if you will. And the way she delivers information really works for my nervous system and my brain. So all she said in a really nice way was basically, you just want to be careful because there's other people on the team who have also moved into a recent condo, no different than the person you were just at their place with. And you don't want to show up as not fair. And let me just tell you, it didn't even cross my mind, which is why I'm telling you this. And I was like, oh my God, that's not okay. Of course. What the heck? How was I not thinking of everybody else? So I wanted to bring it up to you. The decisions you make matter. And it's almost like putting myself in someone else's shoes. Like naturally, they're going to be looking at their boss and, we never want them to say, why did you do that for one person and not me? Or if they do, and back to the latte, you have a reason why. Leadership is not easy. All we can do is our very best. All we can do is admit our mistakes. All we can do is come from a place of open-heartedness that we're always just trying to make everybody happy and show up honestly. I also want to talk about if somebody on the team is doing something, let's say against policy, let's say they're taking way too many vacations. This is a good example. I hear this a lot, especially from Canadians, because we have the majority of contractors. And the question in coaching was, how do I say this? Do I say it personally? Do I say it in an email? Do I put it like a mass email? As you know, in general, how do we want to communicate? Do you remember? We want a chat instant messenger. I love Google Chat because it's already for free included in your Google Workspace, where all your Google Docs are, including your manual. This is not where you want to put information, though, about performance issues. So jot this down. Let this be your guiding post. Any hard conversation has to be in person. Now, all the not hard conversations can be where? At the team meeting. You got it. Once a month, you're going to show up on Zoom. Your whole team's going to be there, and you're going to bring up all the things, changes, check-ins, new ideas, exciting things. However, If it's a performance issue, please meet with that person on Zoom or in person and talk to them first. The thing is, I just don't want them to feel like they're singled out if you do it in a group. However, you will end up doing it in a group later because what are we going to do? We're going to create a system, aren't we? Because systems set us free, streamlining so it doesn't happen again. You're going to create a policy and put it in your manual, and you're going to bring that up. But before you do that, meet with the person, because here's the thing. You don't know the underlying reason. You need to gather more data before you come up with a policy, before you roll out that policy to the team meeting. If there's an individual who's taking too much vacation or canceling or showing up late, you want to deal with the problem. Yes, it's hard. You want to meet with them, show up curious, do the coaching, additional training. You're going to ask yourself, is this a people problem, a leader problem, or a systems problem? Jot that down. Guess what it is usually? No, it's not them. I know we love to blame them, don't we? We're good people, but still. And good news, it's also not you. It's typically a systems. Maybe they didn't get trained in the vacation. Maybe that wasn't written down in the therapist manual about that they need to show up 10 minutes early before session. Sometimes something feels common sense to you. If it's not written down, it does not exist. Okay. I was watching a documentary the other day. Do you like documentaries? I personally love I'm very protective of my energy. The people I share my energy with, the TV I watch, the music I listen to, and I tend to watch particularly documentaries. And a really good one I watched yesterday that just came out on Netflix is called Being Eddie. Okay. It's Eddie Murphy. Love him. I grew up in the 80s, so he's amazing. And he said something that I wanted to tie to leadership. He said and he's renowned, the most talented, not just comedians, but the best actors, singers, really this could apply to anything, including us. Guess what he said? Are sensitive. They're sensitive to the people in the room. They're perceptive because and it's just interesting watching all the things he's done. Do you remember the the Nutty Professor? Like all those movies. He's funny, particularly on stage, because he's feeling the energy of the crowd. And then he leans into more of what they want because he can feel it. He's attuned. This is how we need to be with our team, attuned to them. And then based on their energy, we're going to ask more questions, have individual time with one of them, change the way that we're doing things. As a leader, you will continue to develop and to grow. Eddie also said one other thing that I love. I'm not a rowboat, I'm a sailboat. I'm not push in high water, pushing, making it happening, hustling. Oh my gosh, I'm all alone. No, I'm a sailboat. I go with the flow of my team, with their needs. If issues come up, I allow that to guide me, and then I just get to where I'm going way less exhausted and way more fulfilled. Before I leave you, do you want my watch list? I've been actually working on this for about a year. I created 10 movies and documentaries that are very inspiring, and they're all about the best of the best people. It's like Lance Armstrong. Some of them they're basically people in life, you'll recognize all of them, who have gotten to the top, the best in their career, and how they did it. And some of them are people who have built big businesses and fell on their face, and it's just going to leave you with all the lessons, because I know you desperately want and deserve to unwind and watch TV. But what if it was really good, energetic vibration that you were watching? It is free. Do you want it? I'm literally just, oh my God, I have to share all of these with you. DM me, jump over to Instagram, Nicole.McCants Method, and DM me 2 words, watch list. I've put together a watch list for you. It's literally television. Yes. I know you're craving it. And I've got the best documentaries and movies. And enjoy. You deserve it. And I'll see you next week.